What's up, boys and girls? My name is Brandon, and as you can probably tell, this is another episode of the ConsumeCast. Although short, I'm actually driving home currently about a half hour, so I figured I would just shoot out a quick mini podcast episode and just kind of talk about what's going on in my life. And maybe this is going to turn into like a lecture, motivational speech, but we'll see. Don't get deterred. First off, I do want to apologize that this is audio only. Like I said, I'm driving home. It's pitch black out, and there's Christmas lights and all that fun stuff, because it is November 29th, November 30th, I believe. And obviously I can't video in the car. But anyway, so just audio. Click open another tab. Add some toys to your Amazon wish list. Peruse Facebook, do what you want to do, but it doesn't hurt to keep me on in the background and listening to the not so soothing sound of my voice. So, I don't do a lot of the ConsumeCast, obviously. I call it my podcast, but it's really just, well, it is a podcast, it's just not something I have a schedule to. It's just kind of something I do like when I get the urge to record a podcast. So, in my life, as some of you may or may not know, I'm married, obviously, but a couple years ago, I dropped out of college, and so did my wife, but she actually continued on with her education through a different school, and I dropped out of school and decided to just get a normal job, and just pursue being a husband and eventually a father someday. However, after working numerous jobs that I couldn't stand, multiple factories, and I like to call myself a hardworking person. My father is an extremely hardworking man. He's the lead maintenance technician at a factory, has been for 25 years now, and my mother works at a school system and used to be the CEO of a company. So I don't come from a lazy family. However, I'm a very large guy, and working these very difficult and strenuous jobs really destroyed my body, especially due to the head injuries and knee injuries I had in high school for playing sports, but that's a whole nother story. So anyway, these jobs were not good on me, and finally I got a really, really good job as a custodian, which wasn't bad. I like my job. I have a 401k, I have a retirement plan. This is a place that in 30 years, at 49 years old, turning 50, I could retire from. And that's a wonderful opportunity. But as a 19 turning 20-year-old man who's married, I did not want to feel like my 60-year-old coworkers at the time. I just started to really fall back into a depression I hadn't felt in years, and I really came to the conclusion that I wasn't truly happy. So after maybe 6 months of this, on kind of figuring out that, I really don't want kids. It's not something that my wife and I really have 100% become against, but we're both not really the type of people who dream of having children or really get excited by the idea of it. We're very introverted people who have, some odd hobbies. So children aren't really in the deck of cards for us, I would say. And I actually came to the conclusion pretty much right away when I dropped out of college that I didn't want to drop out of college. It was a huge mistake. But accepting your own failure in life, especially in your education, when you feel that, that you're not smart anywhere, that you're not intellectual, definitely creates a feeling of like worthlessness, and it's very hard to accept that, it was your fault. I acted like the college that I went to was the worst thing in the world, and they were the worst people, and I would talk, numerous amounts of metaphorical shit about this very, very good college, actually. So one day it just clicked, and I kind of broke, and I decided that, there is no reason that you should not follow your dreams in life. Some people want to become surgeons, and some people want to be radio DJs. Some people don't mind working at a factory and having kids, and some people do. That is totally okay, whatever path in life you choose. And, I decided to follow my path. So let's flash back to when I was probably 10 to 14, I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't quite understand how it's done. I want to be a filmmaker and someone who works in production. So, I'm a big movie fan, special features, documentaries about the craft, just people like that. Kevin Smith is probably my biggest, influencer, as well as, surprisingly enough, like Bernie Burns from Rooster Teeth and Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, more recently so, as I'm an adult now, have really helped me hone in on exactly what I want to do. But basically, growing up, I knew I wanted to be in film, not in front of the camera, but more behind the camera. I do like hosting. I think that's fun, and I would like to kind of hone that skill a little bit, which is why I do YouTube, mainly to practice working with video, and also to kind of hone my hosting skills just a little, and it keeps my dictation well up. Oof, doesn't keep my grammar there though, guys. But basically, I enjoy doing it. I truly enjoy doing it. I don't do it because I expect to make money off of it, because believe me, I don't. I do it for myself so that I can go back and watch these videos and, like a time capsule, really. So I wanted to be a filmmaker. But at the time I said, I want to be a film director. And when you are 14 years old, people say, oh, that's great. And they don't tell you that, that might not be the most realistic thing to go into. Or they do tell you that. Or, they don't steer you in any sort of direction. I think we let children think that they can hit the moon without working for it. There's no such thing as somebody who is just so extremely talented that they succeed in life. Listen to interviews, listen to podcasts, especially about successful people. And yeah, a lot of the things these people are good at starts with a skill or a natural talent, but practice makes perfect, literally 100%. You have to hone these natural skills into a profession and into a great talent. So as a kid, I didn't know this. I just thought, I go to film school and then I come out a director and I make money and I'm happy and make movies. And that's not true at all. So I went to school pursuing film, and I didn't really realize that film more encompassed the theatrical, like the arts, more so than the digital kind of computer aspect of it all. So that played into another reason of my ultimate demise the first time I went to college. But this was always something I wanted. So anywho, let's kind of fast forward back. So I decided that, overnight really was the final switch where I said, I'm going to apply back at the same university I left, because the university my wife and I go to has a policy that if you've ever been a student, as long as you don't leave on bad terms, which would mean like some kind of crime or academic dishonesty or something like that, which would cause you to be ejected from the school, you are 100% welcome back with open arms, and they actually encourage you to pursue your degree no matter the age. Quite a few of my classmates are actually adults, with families and, kids who are my age. And that's one of the awesome things about where I go to school. So I applied back, and obviously they opened me, or they welcomed me with open arms, and I couldn't be happier for that decision. Since I've gone back to school, I actually go for visual communications technology, which encompasses interactive media, photography, printing, and video production. So that is 100% what I want to do, and it really pinpoints my exact skill set that I've actually kind of taught myself over the years. I've taught myself quite a few things with the power of the internet and the awesome tutorials some of you guys put out. And this really encompasses what I want to do. So I think the moral of that story really is to really find the core of what it is you want to do and your skills and your passions. I am a movie guy at heart, and as a kid, and even until a couple months ago, I didn't know what that meant, what I wanted to do with that, because I'm not the most artistic person in the world, but I feel like I have an artistic ability in a way that it can be adapted with the help of technology. if that makes any sense to you guys. I'm not a drawing artist. I can't sing. I can't play an instrument. But I feel like I can make some awesome things with a lot of time and a lot of passion for that thing. So what I'm trying to say, I guess, is follow your dreams. And as cheesy as that sounds, you got to find that dream first. It might take time. I'm a married man, and I had accepted retiring from a job I got at 19 and having kids, and ultimately probably being the type of father that would push my dreams onto my children so that they succeed. And that is not what you want to do with your life. Live in the moment. Don't live in a cloudy vision of what you think your future may be. If you want to be a welder, welders make good money. Welders can live a happy life. Do that. If you want to be the president, I'm not going to tell you yes or no, because who knows, but go into politics. Shoot for the moon and you'll land in the stars. Somebody said that. That's a quote. I don't know where it came from, but it's true. You got to find what you want to do and do it 100%. Put all your energy into that thing. So, moving forward, obviously I make YouTube videos. I do movie reviews mainly because movies are what I do with my little free time I have. I do still work that full-time job that I could retire from, and I go to school full-time, as well as try to devote some although minuscule amount of time to my wife, to see her and spend time with her, because my marriage is very important to me, and this is the woman that, helped me realize what I wanted to do with my life. So if I can do it, being the lazy guy that I am, if I can do 2 full-time things that adults do with just one of them at a time, if I can do that, as lazy as I am, plus be a married man and have some tiny smidge of a social life, you can go to college. Work in college, meet people. My biggest problem is I don't really make friends, and I don't make great relationships with friends. I only have a couple really good friends, which isn't like, this sounds like a cry for help or me complaining. It's not. I'm very bad at socializing. I'm an extroverted introvert, supposedly. But anywho, if you go to college, which I'm not saying you should, but if you think that your craft can be honed by going to school, you should pursue that dream. In the U.S., our academic system is probably fundamentally flawed, but with enough gumption, you can get the money to go to school and achieve what you want to achieve. So that's what you need to do, is really persevere through the difficulty of college, because I gave up way too easily. I let my grades slip to a point where I'm glad I didn't finish that semester, because if I would have finished the semester, I would have came back with such a low GPA that I wouldn't have been able to be a success in this second iteration of my college career. The interesting thing about going back to school and caring about what I want to do now is that I have the best grades I've ever had in my entire life, and I am taking classes that I don't really understand. I mean, to be completely honest with you, I'm not the most well-spoken, and I'm not the brightest guy that I know, or that many people know. But I do try. So I'm taking college algebra, and I absolutely despised and failed through most of my math classes through my entire educational career before college, and I have like a 90% in my math class. I'm taking cultural studies. My wife and I are taking the same cultural studies class, and I actually have a higher grade than her, and she's absolutely enthralled by this subject, and she's actually a writer, so she understands this kind of stuff. I'm doing well in my writing class, and I'm doing extremely well in my computer science class. I actually have 101% as of now. So I think that the man behind the curtain when it comes to what I'm talking about, and not lecturing, but trying to inspire somebody to really pursue what they want to pursue. If one of you that hears this, out of the 10 that watch this, hopefully this catches on. Share it with your friends, if you've enjoyed it. But anyway, if I can inspire one person to either go or stay in college, or even just pursue their dreams, or to pursue something that makes them happy, it doesn't have to be your dream. Just do you is really what's important here. I never thought I would do what I'm doing now. I actually just finished probably a couple weeks ago at this point, just because I'm so crazy busy. I only get a couple hours of free time every day, normally 3 to 4, but once you figure in meals, showers, and just changing clothes, honestly, I do not get to spend much time doing things. So the weekends and the few hours I get every day, I use for, making Q reviews and stuff like that. But anyway, I get sidetracked very easily. I have actually finished a kind of screenplay outline for a short film that I am working on. It's extremely short. It's an internet short film, so it's acceptable for the length. I think it should be under 10 minutes for sure, but I think it'll be good. I think it'll be the first thing I'm going to put out that I'm truly going to be very, very proud of. And I'm very excited to work on it more. I can't give you guys too many details, but it is going to be horror themed. And I think, I am going to go ahead and tell you that the title is Intrusion. So you can let your imagination run wild what that could possibly be. But if, you see this in the future and that film still isn't up, or, you see this the day it comes out, tweet at me, Altered Walters, and nag me about this. Don't let this slip through the cracks. It's something I am absolutely beyond excited to work on. But like I said, I'm very, very busy, and I'm trying to find a different job to kind of work to still pay my bills, because I have adult bills. Because I became a real adult with a real job for quite a few years before I decided to go back to college, because this wasn't a couple month thing. This was actually about a 2.5 year journey for me to really figure out what I wanted, and that is totally okay. And that's what I'm really talking about. Is if it takes you time to realize what you want to do, that's awesome. But really, just spend some time thinking. Lay in bed at night and just think about. Really go through a normal day, and think about all the times you smiled, or think about all the times you laughed, or felt stress-free and happy, and correlate those. Figure out what's causing it and what continues that. Find the stresses in your life. Figure out what makes you you, and pursue the bright part of that. Whatever is the thing that you really like, you need to shoot for that hard, 100%. So that's kind of what I came to the table with today. I did want to give an update on my life, which kind of spiraled into a motivational kind of, grab life by the balls speech. But I am a pretty big hockey fan now. That's something new with me too. We got to get some water in me. Cold outside. I'm getting sore throat from the hockey game last night, actually, where I screamed and yelled for the 2 hours that a hockey game lasts. Not a lot of gaming in my free time. Black Ops 3 is pretty alright. However, I'm really into the Flash TV series right now on the CW. I've been catching up with that. That's really fun. There should be a Q review out for that in maybe a month. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been binging it like crazy. Maybe 2 weeks you can expect a review of the Flash out. And I've just been living my life and trying to balance school, work, and YouTube, and wife, and all that awesome stuff. But as you guys may have noticed, I have not missed a Tuesday or Thursday upload in what I believe to be 2.5 months. If somebody wants to go back and look through my uploads and give me an exact number, that would be incredible. I would appreciate it so much. And absolutely subscribe to the channel. I know the podcast is not what anybody comes here for, but I'd like to tack it on top of everything else I do. The Q review is a staple of my channel, as you probably know. And the vlogging is very sparse, but I do also enjoy doing that. The podcast, I would really like to get the podcast off its feet and make it a weekly thing, but like I said, with the time, it's not always something that I can fit into my schedule. I do have an hour commute to my job both ways, which factors into my strenuous days. But I do have an hour on my way and my way home from work, so a total of 2 hours and some change of commuting. That if you guys want to, leave me a comment down below and tell me. If you guys want, I can kind of record these audio only, like actual podcasts, and just kind of read some news before I, head out to work, and I can talk about the news, or I can talk about media, or I guess, in the vein of what the ConsumeCast is, anything I've consumed recently, whether that be media or, activities, any of that fun stuff. So I think that is something that I think is a good idea, but if you guys want to see it, definitely leave me a comment and say absolutely do more podcasts or something like that, and I will work on getting an RSS feed set up and getting this on iTunes and making it an actual podcast and not just a audio only video, basically. So I know it's been a short one, but I feel like that little bit of motivation was a good enough segment from a podcast. So continue being awesome, guys. I love you beyond words can fathom. There's not many of you out there, but just a couple views here and there that keep me pursuing the YouTube space, which allows me to just work on my video abilities and working on hosting and trying to improve that. It really does mean a lot to me. Grassmanmedia.com is my media company. I take care of my wife's published books, as well as offer graphic design services for a number of things, advertisement, basically any kind of image you need mocked up, I can do. I do book covers, I do all that fun stuff. Grassman Media also will soon encompass my YouTube stuff, but that is a kind of a website addition and overhaul I need to do. My Twitter, I'm at Walter Walters in the Twitter space. I tweet constantly, mainly about poop and like Taco Bell, because that's my life. But go follow me on all these services, patreon.com/AlterWalters. Throw me a bone over there. Help me. Ideally, I would love to quit my job and focus on school full time and do this for you guys, to really hone in and make everything just awesome and wonderful. I do have a $2,500 goal to do that monthly, which isn't a lot. If I can continue to grow my fan base, it's something that may be achievable sometime soon, within a couple of years soon. And I'm looking at grad school, so that would be awesome. So definitely share this with your friends. Even if this podcast hasn't been great, I totally understand how you feel. But share my other videos with your friends, movie fans, your family. You've all got Facebook, you've all got a Twitter. Share it around. It doesn't take more than a couple seconds. And even if you don't want to see it on your timeline, it'll disappear pretty quickly as you continue to use that social media. So now that I'm wrapping up for the third time, I really do appreciate it, guys. And it means the world to me. So shoot for the moon. You'll reach the stars. I will see you guys very soon. Bye.